Hey everyone, welcome in to the very first episode of Unleashed Stories. I'm so excited and honestly a little nervous because I can be hard on myself, but I just hope you guys enjoy this podcast and the topics that I bring and the things that I discuss, and I hope you guys can truly relate. And I'm hoping to find people out there who understands where I'm coming from and could possibly help me out. And we can become a community that discuss things and work things through. I feel like more minds is greater than one. But anywho, this podcast is going to be a space for real, open conversations. And some episodes will be about Unleashed Esports, our teams, our journey, the highs and the lows of building something from the ground up, and what I like to call getting it out the mud. It truly takes hard work. It takes dedication. It takes commitment. It takes self-control. It takes professionalism. And other episodes will be about life, because I truly feel like we all can say life is life in right now for a lot of us. And so these kinds of story will remind us that we are all human, trying to figure it out one step at a time, taking a day at a time. And the vibe here isn't about being polished or perfect by a long shot. It's about being real. I hope it will feel like you're sitting down with a friend, talking it out, and maybe laughing, or maybe you tearing up a little bit. So I thought it will only be right that the first story we share here is our origin story. How Unleashed Esports, or U3, came to be. It started with a vision. Play with purpose, unleash the future. That has been our heartbeat since day one. It wasn't about chasing cloud or trying to copy anyone else. It was about creating a space where players could compete, grow, and belong. And of course, starting out wasn't easy. And I'm not going to get into like the real backstory of you know, where all this, began, because that would take a while. We would be sitting here for a while. But I will just narrow it down to a few things, like the lack of resources, no blueprint, there's free will, a ton of grassroots orgs and teams, we're just all leaning towards the traditional approach. Scammers, yes, I said scammers. I personally got scammed by the trade marketing company. And if you want to know more about that, just let me know in the comments and I'll be glad to share. But just to hit on it a little bit so that I can inform people out there. There is a process when you want to get your business name or logo trademarked, or in this case for me, a business name or a logo, right? And so there's a process to it. So when you fill out your application, you basically tell them all the items that you will be using this trademarked name or logo for. And each item you have to pay a fee for. Next in the process, after you submitted your application and you paid the invoice, you are like in a limbo for a minute until someone from their staff reviews your application, just making sure everything is what it should be. And if it's not, they will let you know and you have a moment to correct it or further clarify. But that process is free. And they messed up because they tried to get me to pay an extra $3,000 on top of $2,000 that I've already paid to get my name trademarked. They tried to get me to pay an extra $3,000 for a step that hasn't even initiated yet. I was not assigned a personnel yet. I wasn't even in that next step phase. I was still in a moment of where I was just waiting to get someone assigned to me. So how can I pay for something that is non-existent in the moment? Hasn't happened yet. And so that's where they messed up. They became greedy, and I was just like, oh, I got to get a hold of this. And so I did. I was able to get a little bit of my money back, but the big portion of it I didn't get back, so that sucked. But in the end, I did come out with a trademark business name. Next would be my logo in the future. But that process traumatized me, it stressed me out, so I'm not in a big rush. But my business name is trademarked. And so yeah, that process in itself was just a lot. It's even more traumatizing, I guess I should say, if you don't have like people in your corner to like sort of direct you in the correct way to go, or the right path to take, or the right people to talk to about things that's not gonna get over on you. Because a lot of things, or I should say majority of the steps and decisions that I have made till today has been from my own research, has been from me putting in hours and sitting at my computer just finding the answers, finding the solutions, doing free consultations with lawyers and just a whole variety of things, being in like small business mentorships, and just any type of way or just me putting myself in any or I should say, let me slow down, you guys. I tend to stumble on my words when I get to talking about passionate things or things I'm passionate about. But just placing myself, or no, I'm gonna go back again. Creating opportunities for myself. And that's what I did. I created opportunities for myself. And it helped me a little bit. It's only so much that you can get from free consultations, being in free mentorship programs, business programs. There's only so much that you will get for free. Majority of it, you are reading resources that's already, made, and videos that's already been, recorded. So you're sitting there watching hours or minutes, you're sitting there reading pages. So it is a lot from like a single owner perspective, because I am a single member LLC. I don't have a right hand or a left hand. It's just me. And so it's tough in that aspect, but it also builds me in a way to where I can truly say I have lived and learned a lot as a business owner. And I think I have enough knowledge based on my experience to share, and I'm hoping that's what I can do with this podcast. But beyond the bad things, or beyond the learning moments or experiences, there were plenty of moments where I thought, is this going to work? But like I just said, every setback reminded me why I started. And that's what kept me going. But there were also moments that were good. There was also funny moments. I mean, you there, with life, there's a balance. There's the good and the bad, So of course, beyond the bad, there's the good. And the good moments are with my players. When I get home from my full-time job, I'm devoting my time to my players, my team. And I just want to just share a little funny moment that recently happened. I don't know if you guys will find it funny, but I found it funny. We were all in the middle of a training session, and one of our players had needed to take a little potty break. And so, we just all in our own elements. And then somebody just decided to ask, like, is so and so back yet? And all we hear is that person talking, saying, nope, still in the bathroom. I'm on Discord on my phone. And we like, wait a minute, pause. But it's just moments like that that just makes my day, honestly. It's the why. Because Unleashed isn't just an esports team, like, it's a community. And that's where this podcast come in, as I stated. I realize there's so much that happens behind the scenes, lessons, struggles, growth that never really gets talked about. And I also know that people outside of gaming can still connect with these stories because whether you are a player, a coach, a parent, or just someone navigating life, like, we all deal with resilience, we deal with loyalty, we deal with forgiveness and finding our purpose. And that's what Unleashed Stories is about. The stories that connect us, whether they are about gaming, faith, or just being human. And I hope y'all can see that I'm keeping it real, because I could have paused or ended this and redid it all over with. Or redid it all over again. But I'm not, because this is my personality, this is me, and this is me keeping it real. And in order for me to keep it real, I gotta let y'all see that, I mess up too. I stumble over my words. I stumble over, things that I'm trying to get out. And that's just the human. That's the human side of it. And I'm not here to be perfect. I'm here for people to relate to me. So I'm here to be relatable. And since this is the first episode, I really want to invite you in. So if you're listening, I love to hear your story. What's a moment that shaped you? What's something you're proud of, or something you find challenging? And I guess you wonder, well, how in the world are we supposed to tell you that? You can DM me on Discord, YJ the Truth, or you can email me at unleashedesports@tuta.com. Or you can simply drop a comment on this episode on Spotify or YouTube. But I'll love to share some of those on future episodes. If you do decide to share, you might be one of those people whose story gets shared as well. Because remember, this is a conversation. It's not just me simply talking into a mic. I really want you guys to engage with me as well. And I want to be able to provide feedback on things that you guys comment or questions that you may have. So please, please, please give me some interaction. So that is it. That's the beginning of Unleashed Stories. That's my spiel about the origin of Unleashed Esports. If there's something that you want to know more about, please let me know. I try to keep this simplified and not really go too deep. But you've heard the heart, the vision, and where it all started. And I'm hoping to push out episodes bi-weekly. And we'll dive a little deeper and a little deeper, from the lessons behind building U3 to players sharing what it's like in the trenches of esports, to conversations about life, growth, and everything in between. So make sure you stay tuned, because next episode I'm talking about leadership and growth in esports, and sharing what it is really like to guide a team and keep pushing forward. Thank you so much for being here at the very start. It means a lot. And if this resonates with you, share it with a friend who might need it. Until then, remember, play with purpose, unleash the future.